Hi Year 6, this is your lesson for Friday and it's your last lesson for this half term. So today we are consolidating and putting together all of our learning about fractions, decimals and percentages. First of all, let's do a quick recap from yesterday about turning fractions into percentages and the other way around. So pause the video and have a go at these. Hopefully you remember that to turn a fraction into a percentage and the other way around, it needs to be out of 100. That's our whole. Remember, percent means out of 100. So to start off with, we have 22%. So that means 22 out of 100. So that's our fraction. This time we have a fraction, we need to turn it into a percentage. So it's already out of 100 for us. 16 out of 100 is 16%. 80% is 80 out of 100, 80 hundredths. We could simplify that to 8 tenths. Well done if you did that. And then the last one, 95 hundredths, is 95%. Now let's think about decimals. This time I want you to think back, we have done this before, so I want you to convert these fractions into decimals. So think carefully about what your denominator needs to be. I'm hoping that you've remembered that to turn a fraction into a decimal, our denominator needs to be tenths, hundredths or thousandths. So think about our place value grid. We go from units, decimal point, tenths, hundredths and thousandths. So let's start off with 2/5. So I know I can easily turn that into tenths. So times the denominator by 2 and must do the same to the numerator, which gives us 4 tenths. Now if we think about our place value grid, I've got no holes, decimal point and then 4 in the tenths column, so 0.4. The next one is 5 hundredths. Well, my denominator is already in the hundredths. So what I need to think about is my place value grid. So I've got no units, decimal point. I haven't got any tenths this time, so I need a placeholder, but I've got 5 hundredths. So my decimal is 0.05. This one I've got 4 25ths. So again, I'm not going to turn it into tenths because I can't do that. I'm going to turn it into hundredths. I've times 25 by 4, so I must do the same to the numerator. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, now 16 hundredths is a decimal. I can't fit 10 hundredths in my tenths column. So I'm going to exchange the 10 tenths for 10 hundredths for 1 tenth. So no holes, 1 tenth and 6 hundredths. So 0.16. And then the last one, again I'm turning into hundredths. 20 times 5 gives me 100. Multiply the same by the top. 6 times 5 is 30. Now I've got 2 choices. I'm thinking, well, 30 hundredths. I can't fit 30 in my column, so I could simplify this to 3 tenths. And that helps me to turn it into my decimal, which is 0.3. So well done if you got those. Now to draw all of that learning together. So I've given you a mix here of fractions, decimals and percentages, and I want you to represent each of them as a fraction, decimal and percentage. So the first one, you've got 1 tenth. What's that as a decimal and a percentage? 25%, what's that as a fraction and a percentage? 0.5, I want that as a fraction and a percent, and 3/4 as a decimal and a percentage. So pause the video and have a go. Right, let's start off with 1 tenth. So first of all, I can turn this nice and easily into a decimal first because my denominator is out of 10. So that is equal to 0.1, 1 tenth in my tenths column. Now to turn it into a percentage, I need my denominator to be hundredths, not tenths. So let's create an equivalent fraction. 1 tenth is equal to how many hundredths? Well, I've multiplied that by 10, must do the same to the top. It's 10 hundredths. So that as a percentage equals 10%. So I've got 1 tenth, 0.1 and 10%. They are all equal. Let's go to 25%. So I'm going to go straight from a percentage to a fraction. That's nice and easy. So 25 out of 100. this now makes it easier for me to turn it into a decimal because I've got 20 hundredths. Well, I can't fit 20 hundredths, so we turn that into 2 tenths, and then I've got 5 hundredths left. So there's no holes because remember, all of these, fraction, decimal and a percent, all means part of a whole. So no holes. Rather than 20 hundredths, I've got 2 tenths and then 5 hundredths left. So 0.25 for that one. This also cancels down and equates to 1/4. So that is its fraction in its simplest form. So if you see 25%, there's 4 lots of those that go into 100%. So we've actually divided by 25, top and the bottom. So 1/4 that's equal to. Well done if you got that. Okay, over to this one then. So I've got the decimal, I want the fraction and the percentage. So first of all, we've gone to a fraction because I've got, well, 5 tenths. So that sounds like a fraction, 5 tenths. Well, to turn it into a percentage, I need my denominator to be out of hundredths. So I can turn this into hundredths, multiply that by 10, then the same to the top. Well, that is 50 hundredths. So as a percentage, it's 50%. Now hopefully, like this one, you've spotted that this can be simplified. 5 tenths in its simplest form, 50% off, means 1/2. So in its simplest form, 50% is 1/2. So well done if you got that as well. But 5 tenths is absolutely fine. 3/4. Okay, so I'm first going to go into a decimal. And to do that, I need my denominator to be hundredths. So to get from quarters to hundredths, I need to multiply by 25. We looked at that up there. Do the same to the numerator, times by 25, and that gives us 75. So 75 hundredths, actually now that's easier for me to go into a percentage. 75 hundredths is 75%. So that's nice and easy. And then to turn it into a decimal, if I've got 70 hundredths, that's the same as 7 tenths. We need to exchange those. So 0.7 tenths is the same as 70 hundredths, and 5 hundredths is left. So 0.75 or 75%. Your task is over on Purple Mash and you are comparing between fractions, decimals and percentages. So go and have a go, let us know how you get on, and if you struggle with anything we can come back to it, so don't worry. Have a great day and have a great half term.